Welcome to the Born Unbreakable podcast. I'm your host, Coach Des, mindset motivator and lifestyle entrepreneur. From lost trauma, disappointments, and devastation to healing, hope, and betterment, what has grounded me is my unbreakable spirit. We all have that spirit within us. Every week, I'm here to inspire you with stories of perseverance and growth. My mission is to help you crush self-limiting beliefs and to be unapologetically you. You are your only limit, so take action today. Let your unbreakable ride begin now.
This episode is brought to you by Brasserie. More than just bra straps, the accessory I love. With styles from dainty to daring, you will too. Click the link in the description or go to brasserie.com and use promo code BUSHIP to get free shipping on your order today.
Welcome, everyone, to the Born Unbreakable podcast. I'm excited this week for my guest, Charles Velasco. He is a successful entrepreneur and realtor in the Sacramento, California area. Charles graduated from USF with a BS in Business Administration, Entrepreneurship, and Innovation. He was active in an organization called Alpha Phi Omega, founded on principles of leadership, friendship, and service. He's been in real estate since 2016, killing it, partnered with Remax Gold Realty, and definitely one of tax. I've been thinking about taxes too. One of SAC's top realtor producers. So thank you so much, Charles, for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you and your time and letting me be on your podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't you start by talking to us about, I know you have some family also in real estate. So maybe talk about your journey. Take us back 5 years ago to how you got into the real estate industry.
Yeah, so I honestly didn't want to sell homes. My mom was selling homes for a while. She was like, I sent you to college, help the family business. So she was selling about 30 homes when I got in here. And then now year 5, I'm finishing year 5. Our team is going to do 300 homes. And I'm on pace to sell 100 myself. She's on pace to sell 100 herself, and the rest of the team is going to do another 100. So we 10 times the family business in about 5 years. And yeah.
Wow. That's talk about exponential growth.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, more of my passion is developing businesses and helping people out. Like that's why I got that degree. And like my eventual end goal, like it's not just selling homes for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, there's two things that I'm thinking about in terms of what would help my audience. You know, one is the entrepreneurial side. So talking about how you've gotten your success and building your team and what the keys of building a successful entrepreneurship in real estate looks like. But then the second thing is for those that are looking to buy or sell a house in this market. You know, what are the kinds of trends and things that you can share, even at a high level for those who are exploring, real estate investment for the first time. So why don't we start with building your team? Like, what are the success principles that you found in building an empire in real estate?
Well, honestly, the first thing would be like, you got to figure out like your timeline, right? Like if you want it fast, if you want it in 5 years to be at a good level, you have to work 80 to 100 hours a week. There's no getting around it. Like I was waking up at 3, 4, 5 a.m. for 5 years straight, like Monday to Friday usually. And now like it's weird because now my work is harder. So I have to stop myself from waking up so early and working longer. So it's a different challenge now because like literally every 30 minutes I have an appointment scheduled and I have about 10 to 15 appointments a day. And it's just being really good with your time. And honestly, it's just being real yourself as an entrepreneur. It's like, if you're going to work 5 hours a week and expect to make 100,000 a year, like that's not real expectations, especially as a startup. And I actually had a post today about it. Like I remember the first home I sold, I got fucking ripped off by the agent that referred me the client, and I only got 25% of the commission. But I would tell myself now, just getting your for sale sign up and selling a house and the experience is worth it, because as an entrepreneur, like, you can't expect to make money the first 3 to 5 years. Like, that's just what it is. And like, I feel like a lot of people get blinded by like, oh, like he was an overnight success, or like someone gets it in 5-10 years, but they don't see that like they were working 80 to 100 hours a week. I remember going to appointments, missing out on like seeing people have brunch, and I didn't get brunch for I think 4 years. Like brunch, I kid you not. Like just going
Wow.
out to eat brunch, 4 years. And I mean, of course, my family life, my friend life, like the only relationships I had with my friends was honestly going out and partying, because I was working like 8 to 8 every day, basically. So the only time people could hang out is to go drinking.
You're
So
like,
I mean,
hey, I'll
yeah,
meet you at 9:30.
yeah. It's like, oh, I pregame at my house at 9, just get off work on the weekend. But yeah, and it's not fun working out hungover either. So I did that for about a couple of years, but I wasn't like crazy hungover, but I was still hungover. You know, like I went out.
If I'm being honest with you.
That's a lot of torture for a couple of years, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So what about, so obviously hard work is important. I know one of the things that you've done over the years is built your team, because this isn't something that you can, I mean, you're doing it obviously as a solo entrepreneur, but to be successful, you have to have successful people around you, right?
Yeah.
What has it looked like to build your team?
Yeah, so when it comes to building a team, I think the biggest thing is like setting the expectations up front. Like, I have an agent right now that wanted to be part of the team. She was a new agent. We do not take new agents. And I told her, what is the least amount of money you can make? Because you have to think of this as an internship. You're going to be working with like I told her, you're going to be working with 2 agents that sell 100 homes a year, which is about a 7-figure income, right? So would you rather you get the benefit more than I do? Like, you get to figure out what we do. And what if someone told you had an internship where you can make 100,000 to 250,000 within 1 to 2 years? Would you take it? And she was like, hell yeah, right? So that's kind of the mindset. And it's like, when it comes to building a team, setting the right expectations, and like also, like, when you get success as an entrepreneur, don't get all fancy, don't buy all this nice shit, because buying all that nice shit actually fucks up your chance of success. I remember wearing the same workout pants and Uniqlo black shirts for 2 to 3 years when I was working out with my trainer, because I was like either buying new clothes or work out with a personal trainer and get a head start on my day. So yeah, that was just my mindset. Like, the biggest thing is like, you want the right people around you as well. So I would be talking to top agents from around the nation, befriend them, figure out their habits. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is like, the team is the biggest aspect, because yeah, I'm going to sell 100 homes this year, but I still have a life. Like, I hire people just so I have an assistant that saves my time, and I have a personal assistant. I have a lot of virtual assistants as well. What's important to me now is my partner, my girlfriend, Hillary, my family, and my friends. Like, and it's not always easy building a business, because even between me and my partner, Hillary, me and my girlfriend, Hillary, the business gets really tough, because my time is so, like, every 30 minutes, I need to be locked in. And if anything distracts me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really intense, like, every day. Yeah. So building the right team, setting the right expectations, setting the right timelines, I think, is the key. And just being honest, like, if, like, for my team members, I'm like, if you want to be lazy, like, you could go somewhere else. Like, I don't want to deal with it.
Right. Yeah. So that's, I mean, obviously it's important to have people that are aligned with you, that work hard, or there's no way for you to be successful together. Walk me through your day. You talked about 8 to 8. What does that look like in those 30-minute increments? What are the kinds of things that you're doing?
Yeah, so now I used to wake up at 4. Now I'm waking up at like 5 a.m. now. So 5 a.m. to 5:30, I get ready. I drive to my personal trainer. 5:30 to 6:30, I work out my personal trainer. I get home around 7, chill for like 15, 20 minutes. I get in the shower, and then right at 8 a.m., I have like like an accountability with one of my partners, Serena, business partners, and my executive assistant Ainsley, and we go over how many appointments have we set, because like how many appointments have we set with home sellers and buyers this month. So last month we set 70 appointments with home sellers and buyers off of my leads. So like,
Wow.
so with that, it's like we just hold each other accountable from 8 to 8:15 on the appointment side, so we know more clients are coming in. And then 8:15 to 8:30, I go over all my escrows. Like I usually have about 15 to 20 clients in contract to sell and buy homes at a time. And then we go over because what I do is Ainsley helps me take care of all the items, so I could focus 8:30 to 11:30 on the business building stuff, like prospecting, following up, like meetings like this, sending out and working on marketing, systems meetings. So yeah, she helps me take care of that. So by 11:30, all that's handled, so I could just push all the home sales through. Yeah, so like 8:15, 8:30, we go over all the listings, home sellers going live. We go over all the buyers. We go over all the escrows. We go over all my emails, and she takes care of most of it. And then I would say from like 8:30 to 9 a.m., I just started doing this. I started prioritizing myself in my morning routine. So I got so busy that my morning routine, I practice Savers, which is like Miracle Morning. That stuff works well. I mean, I looked at all my old vision boards on my phone, and I was like, fuck, I got all of it now.
Yeah.
It works, but like you can't just like throw it on there and like not have an action plan. So I like to
Yep.
have dates on there, and I like to have what I need to do. And then 9 to 10 a.m., I think this is what every entrepreneur or business owner has to realize. This is the most important time of day, 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. You need to fucking hunt. Like a lot of entrepreneurs are not hunting. Like a lot of us are being spoiled by a good market, being spoiled by social media, that, oh, all you have to do is post it and you get clients. Like I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. A lot of people are like that, right? They're like,
Oh,
or
yeah.
even like I have friends that are massage therapists. I have friends that are loan officers. I have friends that are like doing all these different things. But how many people are actually hunting other entrepreneurs? Zero. I would say not even the 1%, the 0.0001%, the best of the best. And the reason they hunt is because like from 9 to 10 a.m., I don't care what type of business you're in, that's 1,000 an hour activity. That's how you make an extra 20. That's how you literally give yourself a $25,000 a month raise just off of hunting 9 to 10 a.m. If every entrepreneur could apply that, they could quit they don't have to be like it doesn't have to be their side business anymore. They just have to stay committed to 9 to 10 a.m. So for me, that's talking with reaching out to about 40 people that I'm connected with that live in the Sacramento area. So I take 40 times 5, that's 200 people a week. That should net me about an extra 2 sales a week, 1 to 2 sales a week. So just off of that little 9 to 10 a.m. window, being disciplined. Like right now, I have 100 text messages. I have so many people reaching out to me, and I'm fully here right now.
Yeah.
And most people
Yep.
are just like this. They're like the way I don't go crazy though is I reply from 11:30 to 12:30.
So you have a system.
I have a system, and then 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. I have a systems meeting. So what a systems meeting is like, how do I make the business better? Like I'll have a meeting with my team about our buyer appointments or our appointments, how to do things differently. And then 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., which is kind of what we're doing right now, is we're sending out and working on marketing. So I'm in front of you right now because I want to market myself. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's like this is about probably 30 minutes to an hour time, right? But
Yeah.
would you say this is worth 1,000 an hour? Just me being on here.
Oh, yeah, because you're showing you're hungry. People
Yeah,
are going to want to work with somebody who's hungry, that is going to work hard for them, that's willing to wake up every morning and show up.
yeah, and honestly, like it's really hard, like to stay disciplined with. There's always life happens
That
all
was
the
going to be
time.
my next question is, so what about the person that's like, okay, Charles, like 9 to 10 a.m., that's a lot of grind. That's a lot of hustle. You're talking about 40 calls. Like, how do you stay consistent and persistent to do that every single day? Like, what's the recipe for that?
I just have too much accountability. I have people that depend on me. And the reason why business owners don't want to hire is because they're lazy. They don't want to do the work. And when you have family to feed, and they have rent and they have bills, you have to fucking show up. Like that's just really it. Like, and for me, it's like, dude, like, and if you have to negotiate with yourself if you want to do it or not, this you're not built for business. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't have that many friends because I'm a fucking asshole. Like I am literally just an asshole. Like I literally probably bullied my friend for a month into getting his new 6-figure job because I was like, dude, you're settling. You're being. I was just cussing. You know, guys hit each other, but
Yeah.
but I was like, dude,
You're
like
keeping it 100.
I was just being real. I was like, dude, what the fuck, like. And now he got a new job in Beverly Hills. He's making a 6-figure income, and his girl makes good income too. It's like that's why I don't have many friends because like not a lot of people. Like I'm not gonna go down to people's level. They have to come up to mine, and I'm like, if I could help people, and if people get mad at me that I want to help them, like that's on them.
Well, and that tough love is difficult for some people because some people just want to be told all the time that, oh, it's okay. You're doing fine.
Yeah, and it's like we're not doing them a favor by being too nice.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and it's about the quality and the caliber of people in your life, not the quantity of people. So
yeah,
I'm right there with
exactly.
you.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like there's is a lot of excuses. Like I have a lot of valid excuses every day on why I don't have to do this, but it's like I have an end goal to open up something called the Velasco Center, which is going to be where I will literally pay $10,000 to $20,000 for speakers to come out and help everyone in the Sacramento community, and I will get all
Wow.
my successful friends to help everyone in the community with their structure, their life, like how do they do this, like even like stay-at-home moms that like want to show how they balance being a good mom. Like that's the type of environment I want to create, and that's my end goal, and that's why I grind so hard. So it's like, yeah, it's cool to say, oh, I want to do it for my family, I do it for my friends, but you have to do it for yourself. Like if God calls you to do something, like I read this in the Bible recently. I read the Bible every day. It's a sin to know what you need to do but not do it. It's an actual sin. Like you can go to
Yeah.
hell for that. Like when I say that, that's really intense, but it really is like the truth.
You're like, I'm not trying to do all that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Right.
yeah, but yeah, that's what I would say is just like, just I don't know, not just do it, but like figure out like what you're really good at and exploit it as much as possible. Keep
Mhm.
and be like very consistent with your time. Like if you
Yep.
want your time to be like 100 an hour or even $20 an hour, figure out what you can do that's $20 an hour. Or if you want to give yourself a raise, you could do something that's worth 100 an hour. I know people that sell on Amazon and make $1,000 a day. Like they just figured out like a formula that works for them and stuff like that. So it's just and also like money is great and all, but honestly the things you do with that money, and I mean ever since COVID, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna invest all my money back into myself and my business. Like I'm not gonna buy nice shit. Like life is too short to not see what you could do. So, and I just went all out, and it's been working really well.
Yeah. Investing in yourself.
Yeah,
The biggest
like
investment you can make.
little things. Like I mean, getting a personal trainer, like is just like wow. Like spending that money, it's a lot. It's a lot to have a personal trainer. It's like 800 a month for me right now. But I
Mhm.
know when I wake up early and I go see my guy and I work out and I relieve that stress, that $800 a month, even if it takes 3 5 years, I get it right away because I wake up early. But like even if it takes 3 to 5 years, like that is still good return on investment.
Absolutely. For
Yeah,
more than just your body, it's your mindset, it's your
yeah,
discipline,
yeah. And
right?
it's like you spend $800 a month to be a better human being. That's pretty cheap. Instead
Yeah.
of going out every weekend, 100, 200 a week, going out getting drinks, getting fucked up, getting call service. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything that there's wrong with that. I love that stuff, but
You're right. Priorities.
yeah, priorities. It's just like
There's a ratio there.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I'll make sure to drop in the show notes for people because you brought up Miracle Morning and Savers. I'll put that in there so they know what that routine looks like, because I do think that making small changes like meditation, exercise, journaling, spirituality, and taking some time for yourself in the morning is a key to unlocking the success for the rest of your day.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, imagine how much anxiety the normal person would get if they had 100 text messages right now and it's all their clients. So like the way I deal with it is like, you know what? Like not everyone needs your attention right away. Like it can wait. Like will someone die if someone texts me at 10 a.m. and I reply at 11:30 or 12? No. Or will someone die if they texted me 7 p.m. last night and I don't reply till 12? No.
Right.
And it's like how are you supposed to be efficient if you like let every little thing distract you? And it is really hard. Like it's a skill, but I mean down the line, like you're gonna thank yourself when you could stay focused on one thing at a time. And when people say they don't have time in a day, imagine you work 8 to 8 and you put your time in 30-minute increments. You have 24 appointment slots to get better and get business. How much damage can someone do with 24 appointment slots?
With diligence and commitment, a lot, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit more about your accountability, because that's clear that's something that you've mastered pretty well. What are the things that you've put in place to hold yourself accountable?
Dude, it's honestly the freaking worst, but it's a lot of, it's always, I'm always accountable to someone. So 5 a.m., the alarm goes off, and then I have a 5:15 to 5:30 a.m. call with two of the top realtors in the nation, Lori McGuire. She's like the number one realtor in Laguna Niguel, which is like a really bougie area.
Super bouge.
And then Donna Lerner, she's all the way in the East Coast. They're killers. They're amazing. And I'm like, I remember like I wasn't even that big in real estate at the time, and Lori asked me to be on that accountability call. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna be on that shit. And then 5:15 to 5:30, then 5:30 to 6, like 5:30 to 6:30, 6:45. I drive to my trainer. He's like waiting for me. His name's Mike. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this.
Already by 5 a.m. and by the time you get to 7 a.m.
By 7 a.m. I have 3 people holding me accountable. Then 7 a.m. to 7:30, I try to kick it with my girl, hang out with my dog. And then 7:38, I shower, get ready. And then right at 8 a.m., I have that big meeting with my assistant and my business partner who helps with all the buyers, Serena. And I'm like, fuck, that's like 5 people by 8:15. Yeah. And 8:30 a.m. to 9, I have a group text of people that hold me accountable to do my morning routine. So that's already about 6.
Wow.
I need more accountability on 9 to 10 though, but everything else, like 10 a.m. to 10:30, I have a meeting. 10:30 to 11 a.m. I have a meeting. 11 to 12, I have like 100 text messages flooded.
Yeah.
And I have to
so basically by lunch, there's over a half a dozen people that you've had to be accountable.
Oh no, by the time it's 12:30, like it's probably 100.
Wow.
Because like all the text messages.
Oh, because your clients, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like nonstop.
Yeah. And then what about tools? So what tools do you use? Like what kind of productivity tools to keep you on track? Do you use anything special in real estate?
Honestly, this is what's really weird about me. Like for me, like productivity, I just have like windows of when I reply. Like 11 to 12:30 or
keep it simple.
Keep it simple because it's like, of course, I'll read everything that comes in, and if I actually have to take care of it, I will take care of it. But yeah, it's just like I have windows 11 to 12. I treat myself like a doctor or a surgeon, because like right now, like I'm probably gonna make more than a surgeon this year, but like literally, it's like you have to respect and once you start respecting your time, your customer service actually gets better because it's like you could actually be calm and like once you take care of the first half of the day of what you need to take care of selfishly for yourself. Like imagine if I was a realtor that only sold 3 houses a year and rent was due next month. I would be hounding my buyers to buy a house. I wouldn't be like, oh, you know how many times I told a buyer, you know what, you shouldn't buy this house. Or I told the seller, you know what, you shouldn't sell. No one does that.
Yeah.
But when you come from a place of like, not power, but like you did the right things in the morning to put yourself in a position to have clients, you don't have to force anyone to do anything they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's really, you're kicking all kinds of gold right now. Okay, so let me ask you about the market. right now.
Yeah.
It's been interesting, right? There's a pandemic.
Yes.
I know in California, because we're both in California, the market had a big uptick, and it's in a place where it's great for sellers. I see that things are starting to slow and shift just a little bit. What would you say to people who are looking to buy and sell right now?
For buyers, it depends because like what's really interesting is that the interest rate is really low. Like I have clients getting 2.75 or 3.25%. So what does that actually mean in actuality? So like
Yeah,
when I bought this house, it was about 5% interest rate to 5.5. So the difference in payment was about 700 to 800 a month. So like yeah, everyone's like, oh, the prices are so high. But if you're renting for 2,000 a month and you could buy a home for 2,000 a month, it's like you should buy as long as
right,
you can afford the home ownership stuff because it's so easy in 10 years, like to rent for 10 years and throw away $250,000. It's so easy because like people just get so caught up with life, they don't think about it, they don't save. But now it's like I would say if you're an entry level buyer or even if you're a high end buyer and you know you're going to be there for 5 to 10 years and like you don't want to rent, like you're over it because it's like the most for sure way to save money. It's the most for sure way. It's a form of forced savings that you're paying yourself instead of your landlord.
right.
And I would say it is a good time to buy, but I wouldn't buy if you're barely buying the house, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like
does.
when it comes to selling, sell right away. The prices are so high because what could happen is like a lot of people are like, oh, like I'm gonna wait till it goes down. So even if it does go down, the chances of the interest rate jumping up is so high. So it's like the same thing.
Yeah,
But actually, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you want to get out of renting, it's kind of like knowing, hey, I could pay myself what I'm paying off in my loan every month for sure. You might as well just do it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's a big
Yeah, it's
decision,
weird because
I
everyone's
think.
like, everyone has like their own like thoughts on it. But my own personal opinion is, it's like, does it make sense to get in the game of renting and like gamble that it and wait, or does it make sense to win like when you already know you're gonna win? And everyone's moving there. What's interesting is that even me included, I'm not even trying to get a office in Midtown or downtown Sacramento. I could
Hmm.
do most of my work from home. I meet
Yep.
with home sellers in person, or I do a Zoom, or I do a phone call. Like, why would I pay 2,500 to 3,000 a month for an office, which is 30,000 a year, when I could buy a home? I could work from home.
Yeah,
It doesn't make
doesn't make
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's been fascinating because I literally just bought and sold a home. I,
Nice.
cl- I, I closed on the one that I sold like a week and a half ago, and I closed on the one that I bought yesterday.
Oh, it's a
So,
perfect time to do exactly what you're doing.
yeah. So, I appreciate hearing directly from you that's an expert that's seen everything because I know there's a lot of vacillation, for people right now. Is it a good time? Is it a good time?
Yeah, and it's really looking like working with a agent that has your best interest because not all agents are the same. Because it's like I know everything to the T, like what your monthly payment's going to be around and what price range and what are you renting for. I'll ask like the right questions, and like the way I work is like I lay out options for my clients and they can pick if they want to do it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You empower them.
yeah, and it's like it's not going to hurt my feelings if they don't want to do it. It's totally fine.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's your choice, right? When you're
Yeah,
making a purchase that's that big or making a sale and doing something else with your life.
yeah.
Before I go on to ask you a few personal questions for my audience to get to know you better, what other advice would you give to entrepreneurs, particularly to those who are wanting to go into real estate and be really successful?
Honestly, join a good team. Like that is probably the best. Join a good real estate team, but don't get all like don't look at their numbers of how many homes they sell. Look at like how many agents on the team are actually making good money themselves. Because there's a lot of teams that recruit like 50 to 100 agents, and they say, "Oh yeah, we sell hundreds of homes. We're the best." but how much are the agents actually making? Like our goal is for all of our agents to make 100,000 minimum. Like that is our goal, and
Mhm.
that's why we don't really get new agents, because like training someone brand new, like that's how I take my time. Like I value my time at 1,000 an hour right now. Like if
Mhm.
I spend time training an agent that doesn't listen to me, my time per hour goes down. Like it just doesn't make sense. So it's like it's easy to take agents that do 6 to 12 home sales to 20 to 50, because we have 2 agents on the team doing 100 this year. So I think that's our value proposition. And our big thing is we want our agents to have a life. We want you to take time off every week. We want you to go on vacations. We want to provide the staff and like a system so you can save time, so you can spend time with your family more. Like that is kind of our value proposition. And we just started recruiting agents because we didn't really care to, but now like we want to recruit agents because we see there's a huge need like for people to have a better life. Like I know a lot of agents, like I would say 75 to 80% of top agents get divorced
I could see that.
because every
Wow.
weekend, every weekday. But then if you plan it out correctly, they have systems and structures and assistants in place. Like it's crazy. Like there's a lot of people in real estate that don't want to hire assistants, but that's the reason why they get divorced.
Yeah.
It's such a, it's not gonna lie, it's such a dark business. Like it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of friends who are in real estate, and the ones who have longevity do exactly what you're describing. I think I've seen some who dabbled and said, okay, this isn't for me.
No, yeah, I mean, in the first few years, like it's like you won't make that much money, and unless you work like crazy. But
Yeah.
at what cost? Like people have like family, kids, and it's understandable. But it's yeah, it's a really hard business.
Yeah. I think reputation has sustained people who I've seen very successful is because their reputation precedes them.
Yeah,
People want to work with them. That's awesome. I appreciate that. So I have a few questions that are just personal so people
yeah.
can get to know you a little bit better. So
Okay.
the first one is, what are 3 words that best describe you?
Shit, that's hard. Uh, I would say obsessed, relentless, and caring.
I love it.
Yeah, like sometimes I'm a little too caring.
I would have chosen relentless.
Yeah.
I totally vibe on that with you. Okay. My next question. What is something about yourself that you're working on improving?
Oh, this is a good one. So recently, my real estate coach kind of challenged me to take more time off, because I mean I'm at that point, you know, like how like CEOs, like they don't work 12-hour shifts anymore because the decisions they make in a day are way too hard. And I saw myself, I was like, fuck, like I'm actually, like usually I could push myself mentally and physically, but there was a point where I couldn't anymore, you know? So
Mhm.
my challenge now is to train my staff and team better, to offload some hours from me and like take more time off. So now I'm doing about, I try to do 8 to 7 now, but I mean, when I wake up at 5 a.m., everything I'm doing is based towards being a better like real estate team leader and helping my clients sell homes better. So it's like, yeah, what I'm doing now is a new schedule, 8 to 7, and unless it's a fire that I absolutely have to do past 7, or a client's having a freak out, and then Saturday work by appointment only from 8 to 1, and then take the rest of the half day off and take Sunday off, and only
Okay.
reply to fires.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so then a follow-up to support your accountability is, do you have a vacation planned?
Oh yeah. So vacation plan, like I usually take leave town once a month. So like
Nice.
on every 3 day weekend or every holiday weekend, I do that. But for me, I don't really like the whole week thing.
Yeah, like
It's too much.
7
Like I
days.
would do like 4 or 5 days during Christmas or maybe Thanksgiving, but like I just feel like I have too much anxiety attacks. Like when I take too
Yeah,
much time
like
off. Like I can
huh.
take a 3 day weekend or a 4 to 5 day max when it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas when no one wants to talk to me.
Well, probably because they're off too, like your clients or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually like I calculated it's about 50 to 75% less when it's a holiday weekend, which is already good. Yeah.
You're really good with numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. What's a self-limiting belief that you've had to overcome?
A self-limiting belief I've had to overcome is I can't be in a happy relationship while I'm building this business.
Ooh, that's a good one for people to hear.
Yeah, that one was probably the most surprising thing for me. Like me and my girlfriend Hillary, we're kind of crazy. Like not crazy, but I was just like, I'm the type of person. I'm not gonna fucking wait a year for you to move in. I'm like, you know what? Let's just see if this shit works. I moved her in within a month.
Yeah, you're like, let's figure this out.
I want you to see how my life is and see if you can hang. That's
Yeah.
just what it was. And she could hang. She's actually been a big help. Like she reached out to you to set up this meeting. So she
Yep.
runs she's my executive of branding and marketing. So she runs all my branding and marketing. So I don't have to think about it. I just come up with ideas and we check in with each other once a week. So
So you're a good partnership.
yeah, and like she stays in her lane, I stay in my lane. I focus on the home sales and the big picture, the CEO stuff, and she focuses marketing and branding is really important too. And she has like a really good marketing mind. But it
Shout
is
out, Hillary. Good
yeah,
job.
yeah, it is really tough though because like we'll be arguing because like I'm very like particular and like I'm very like I need shit like it's just hard because it's like hard being with me and I know it's like really hard being with me because I need shit done because like I have just have it's back to back to back to back to back to back every day. So like even every 5 minutes delay, even a 5 minute delay will fuck up my day.
Yeah, you're like, so she's hung with you, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
She's
good. I
doing
mean,
well.
we're running really well. Like, what's really cool is like, yeah, this year I'll break 7 figures in my business, and then like, yeah, like the company is growing really well. I have a life which most realtors do not have a life. Like their
I've
life is
seen
real
that.
estate, and they're like all flexing. They're all like, "I'll be available 24/7 for you." Like, what I wouldn't trust anyone with one of my biggest decisions that is available all the time because that means that like they don't take time to take breaks. And now I know why it's important to take breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Congratulations, because where you're at in such a short period of time in this industry just says so much about your fortitude and your commitment to not just yourself but your clients, because it's no small feat to get to this level of success without clearly the hard work that you've put in.
Yeah. And thank you so much. I appreciate that. And 2020, 2021, it for real estate is rough. Like it's hard. Like there's no if you, anyone could just go on Zillow and see fucking no houses on the market. like there's only so many paychecks that go around. Isn't that
Oh
nuts?
yeah. Yeah, it is nuts. Because even with the growth that I've seen, the growth percentages, at least in California and neighboring states like Nevada, even in the Midwest, even at its growth periods, it's severely less than the inventory that was there 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah, and there's more realtors than homes for sale.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's
crazy?
insane.
Yeah.
Yikes. So you have to be good.
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
funny too, because like I know a lot of people are getting into real estate thinking it's easy money, and like I kind of see like people that I've inspired, but I kind of feel bad now because like they went full time, now they're not making money. I'm just like I feel like I should have mentioned. I don't need to mention it, but I need to like kind of show that it's fucking hard. But everyone just sees me as like just a chill guy. They don't see like my true colors when I'm like negotiating against an agent. I'm completely freaking calm and I don't give a fuck if the deal goes through because for them it's their only deal. For me, I don't give a fuck. So
Yeah, different.
I'm in power. So like the one that cares the least in a relationship always wins.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
A lot of multi lessons here. Okay. Um, So I have two more questions before asking how people can connect with you. What is one thing that you would want to see changed in the world?
One thing I would want to see changed in the world is people feeling sorry for themselves and acting like there's no resources. Like, this device right here is God's creation. Like, everyone's like, oh, the phones are the devil. You could connect with anyone. You could learn anything. You could go on YouTube. You could learn how to sell 100, 200 homes on YouTube right now. I listen to I listen to a podcast like that every day, like for an hour. And I feel like I just want people to stop feeling bad for themselves, because it doesn't matter where you are in life. This like has equalized the world. You could become anyone you want to be with the smartphone. And I feel like once people realize that, they're like, shit, I'm so powerful. Like, I know businesses that are making crazy money just off of posting on social media, or just off of meeting people on social media, or like connections. Like, there's just so much opportunity in this world. The internet made it like equalized everyone. Like, I'm pretty sure you see it all the time. You see people that were like not doing so well turn their life around in 1 year, right?
Completely.
And no one really realizes that it's the internet.
Huge. Oh, it's big time, big time.
Yeah. So
Because we have global connection. Could be talking to somebody in another country and making business deals.
Yeah, and the world is more competitive now, because now, I mean, right now, like, most of my assistants are virtual assistants in the Philippines.
Mhm.
So, like, I only have 2 people here that are my assistants, and I don't think I'll ever need more than that here. And then I'm just going to keep getting virtual assistants. They're college educated, they're hungry, they work way harder than most Americans. I'm not even trying to be mean. I pay them $400 a month for 160 hours of time.
Oh, yeah.
So
more and more people are doing it.
Yeah, it's just game over at this point. It's like we have to understand that there's a huge shift in opportunity. Everyone has opportunity, but it's like if you're not applying the hours, it's hard to get to the level people want to get to.
Yep. Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, what's one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever been given?
I'm trying to think. Oh, so if there's one thing I collect, it's not shoes, it's not like jewelry, it's books. So I have a crazy book collection. Like, the only thing I've been packing for my next house is my books. So someone like a piece of advice someone gave me that's really smart is all the secrets are in books because no one looks there.
Ooh.
So once I start, like, I read a lot of books, and it's just, you could learn anything you want from a book. Like, I read Relentless every day by Tim Grover. That reshaped my mind. 1 page a day. That's the same guy that trained Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade. Like, you can literally learn from anyone you want from a book. And people say, oh, books cost money. You could download them for free online illegally. Like, it's just, there's some, like, books are probably one of the biggest keys to success. And and what's weird is that the education system makes people hate reading. So they stop reading after college or high school.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I listen to books. So just as an FYI, if anybody has Audible, because I listen to a lot of books on Audible, with American Express, they do these promotions where they'll pay for your streaming service. So my thing gets paid for every month. I just read them for free. So
and what it is, it's like it's conditioning your subconscious mind. So, like, even if you're not really listening to it at the time, it conditions your subconscious mind. So when you say affirmations, like, this is like some intense stuff, but like once you say affirmations every day, your subconscious mind becomes like a missile. If it sees an opportunity, it's going to scream at you. So if you combine like reading books, listening to podcasts on YouTube, and you say affirmations to yourself every day, like, your mind is going to go crazy. Like, I'll literally be in the shower, and like I'll get 5 ideas to help me hit my goals that I affirm every day. And I'm like telling Hillary, my girlfriend, like, can you write this down? Can you write this down? Can you write this down? And I'm only in there for 5 minutes, because it's like your mind goes crazy. Like, it's just like you just have to program your subconscious mind. And like yeah, the subconscious mind is probably like the strongest thing in the world.
Yeah, that's so cool. Charles, this has been amazing having an opportunity to get to know you, get to know your mind, how you've become so successful. How can people follow you, what you're doing? How can they do
Oh,
that?
oh yeah. So everyone could follow me on every platform. It's at Charles Velasco V. So Charles V as in victory, Elasco, and then a V, like a regular V as in victory again. I put the V at the end because someone else took Charles Velasco. but yeah, that's the story behind it. But yeah, I mean, for me, I reply to all my direct messages on Instagram most of the time within 24 hours. So if you guys ever want to talk to me, if you ever want a piece of advice, I am always available through Instagram.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, you keep it real, you're raw, you're really amazing at what you do. I'm grateful for people like you because you make people better and you make them strive for what they really want in life.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for having me on this podcast, and hopefully this helps one more person. That would be amazing, and that's kind of just yeah what I want to do. And honestly, also if I could leave off with one little thing is just honestly just go for it because we're I mean since COVID happened, we realized that life is short and could be taken away from us. So invest all the money you want into yourself and what you want to do, and you can live at the end of your life with the results. And anyone that really loves you will let you do that.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. You and I will certainly be in touch. Shout out again to Hillary for
Oh yeah,
helping
can
with
I put
this.
this on my story?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. Let me turn this around. All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. That was a fun interview with Charles Velasco, realtor, top producing entrepreneur in real estate in Sacramento, California. Make sure to follow him at Charles Velasco V on Instagram. Shoot him a message. He keeps it real. I really appreciate his candor, his honesty. Sometimes that's difficult. People that just say it straight up, just like it is. Don't be lazy. I love a couple of his key messages. Really straightforward. Work hard. Success does not come by you just chilling and thinking money is going to come through your bank account. You know, most people don't have the fortune or the blessing for things to just get handed down to them. You reap what you sow. And when you put in that 80 to 100 hours, hopefully not forever, because that's not sustainable, you will reap those rewards. But I think on top of that, he talked about expectations, setting expectations for yourself, setting expectations for the people around you, surrounding yourself with people you actually want to be around. You are going to say no and probably not have a lot of friends when you're incredibly busy because you're going to keep the people there that are driving and propelling you forward and you doing the same to them in return. Accountability. I cannot say enough about it. I'll keep it short and sweet. But as you heard, by noon, there's a plethora of people that Charles is accountable to, and that is huge. I want you to think about right now, can you list 5 people that you are accountable to? Make a mental note of that. Write that down. If you can't think of anybody, you might want to work on that. Your fitness, your mental health, your personal development, your growth. Who are those individuals that are on your little team? If you're the CEO of your life, who are the board members that are driving you forward, getting you through the hard times when you don't want to wake up or you don't want to persevere and you don't want to push through? It is those individuals that are not going to let you do that. So think about that team that you have, evaluate if they're serving you, and think of who else you need to get on board to ensure that you're successful, right? So stay hungry. I think that is one of the biggest things. The pandemic can be or has been a blessing and a curse for people in many ways. There has been a lot of loss and a lot of trauma, but with that pain comes growth, learning, and in his case, exponential growth. It's incredible to hear 30 homes to 300 in such a short period of time. So obviously there's a lot to learn there, but stay after it, stay hungry. Keep listening to those things that are going to inspire you, whether it's a podcast like this, other podcasts that you enjoy, books that you read, programs that fill your mind with something that is going to push you just a little bit further, take you to the mountaintop. And you don't want to be there alone. That's why it's important to have people around you that you can climb that mountain with. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if there are topics that you want me to cover on future episodes. Tune in again next week for another inspiring episode. And remember, you are your only limit, so take action today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next week.